do it. That's weird. All right.
There we go.
There we go. We got
All right. Don't let me touch buttons, man. Do not let me touch buttons.
Woohoo!
Yes. It's the breakfast show. It's the breakfast show. It's the breakfast show. Guess what? It's the breakfast show, and I hope y'all have some breakfast going on. I'm starving Marvin, and I don't have any breakfast. You know, actually, we got peanut butter and jelly back there.
That'll work.
I'm almost like, guess who's going to eat peanut butter and jelly for breakfast in just about like an hour. But, no, it was my birthday sabbatical.
Yay! Happy birthday!
Yeah, perpetually 36.
Oh, I thought you were only 29.
Well, I have too many age spots for 29.
Oh, okay.
So I changed it to 36. I felt like, you know, with enough filters, that probably looks really great.
There you go.
Yeah.
Your hair looks nice today.
It's the hot tub.
It's the hot tub look.
Yeah. No, I was like, you know, where I went. Everybody knows where I went. We just won't say that word because I want my vouchers for next month. I think they've been putting like this mega water conditioner because it was like in the shower. I'm like, I feel really silky smooth. You know? And then I'm like in the swimming pool, I feel silky smooth. Get in the hot tub, I feel silky smooth. And my hair was like, you know, like kind of silky smooth.
I see that.
So it's like, don't wash the hair until it looks really greasy. You know, because it's silky smooth. But thank you. I had to give a dissertation about my hair on my trip, yeah. It was fun.
Good.
When I was in particular places. But we won't mention that. You know what? I thought the coolest thing yesterday, I purposely worked really hard not to get on social media during my sabbatical. Which means that guess who didn't do a reading for the week on her sabbatical? So we'll do a midweek one today. I'm gonna get caught up. But one of the coolest things that I saw was the peace treaty.
Oh, really?
It's the Abraham. I can't remember the Abraham Accord. I think is what it's called. And Jared, Ivanka's husband.
Okay.
Is it Kushner, whatever his last name is? Jared, who looks kind of creepy. I'm just saying. And anybody who has 666 for an address of your office building, we need to have a talk. That is not good gematria, but anyway, he was one of the key
I'm going to switch you. Okay, I'm not interrupting you, but you keep going off camera over here.
Oh, sorry. He actually helped broker a peace treaty. And I know, and everybody's like, when did Iran and Israel ever go to war? And they go, no, they haven't gone to war, but there's been animosity. And I said, what's showing now is that we have countries coming together on, you know, for peace.
There we go.
It's like, you know, hey, we all want the same thing. We all want peace. We all want prosperity. We all want, you know, everybody in our country, our nation to feel groovy and happy about where they are. I was like, that was a cool thing that happened. How come it's not all over the media?
I don't know, because peace doesn't sell.
That is very true. War sells.
War sells.
War sells. That is very, very true. My little thing came undone. But yeah, war sells a lot more than peace. And so, but I don't know about you, but I'm a lot happier in peace than I am
Me too.
in war. So I thought that was kind of cool.
That's cool. That's
Very,
really
very cool.
Yeah.
And then my other cool thing, I got cool stuff in the mail.
Yes, she did. She had to copy me.
Yeah, I know.
It's all good because
compliment.
it's an awesome thing. So
Yeah.
So we got a new body scan machine.
Yeah.
So we have two now.
We have 2 body scan machines, and let me just tell you, I ran my scan again this morning, and I'm like, it is phenomenal.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I'm trying not to use that word think. I'm trying to be more like
I believe.
strong. I strongly believe that if you come in and get this body scan done, you're going to have, by the time we're done, and we've gone over everything on this body scan, we will have a treatment plan, a natural mind,
healing,
body, and spirit healing plan, treatment plan. I would rather call it a healing plan.
I like healing plan.
Healing plan made up for you. Anything from herbs to foot detox to emotional healing, life coaching, whatever. It would be amazing. We need to come up with a nice big bundle for that.
A concert on the Bells by Mares. You're like, oh my God, that was so healing. Or, oh my goddess, No, I'm like fascinated with it. It was so comprehensive, this health scan that we have, this little machine, and essentially you're holding a bar, and you hold it for what, maybe a minute and a half?
A minute and a half, 2 minutes
something
tops.
like that,
Yeah.
and it runs a scan off of your frequencies, your electromagnetic frequencies that are in your body. And when you think about the body from the cellular level, let's talk about the moment of conception. We have the ovum, we have the egg, and the sperm swims up and it penetrates the egg, and at that very moment of penetration, your body sends out this chemical that will envelopes that, so no other sperm can attack it or whatever, and it starts to create that little cellular mess that is the chorion that develops into the embryo, that develops into the fetus, etc., etc. Those cells are full of electromagnetic energy.
Right.
That's how we roll, folks. That's how your human body rolls. So this scanner is using the frequencies of your electromagnetic body, and it gives you, it talks about your every body system, skin, heart, lungs, reproductive, endocrine, etc. So it's talking about every facet of your body. It will talk about, just from holding on to that bar, and it flipped me out. It was talking about all the different minerals and metals in your body. I have like a shish load of lead.
The mineral content, amino acids,
Bone density,
your vitamins. There's another one. Essential fatty acids was on there too, I believe. And then what I thought was cool, so when I first got it and I was playing with it, and it took a couple weeks for me to get Maris on it, but when I was playing with it and I came across, it was like, oh my gosh, it does all the energy channels and meridians in the body, so we can see exactly where you're blocked. I'm just amazed.
Do you know how much that's going to make my job easier?
Oh, yeah.
And actually, we can really become more well-rounded in our care here and the services that we provide.
Right.
With that. And I compared the original one that we did last week. I compared it with my last little bit of labs that I had that were fairly recent, and they weren't. It was like maybe a 2 to 3% difference.
Yeah.
But then again, I look from lab, like when I get blood work done, or when I was worked in allopathic, you might have 3 different labs.
Oh, so you're going to have that much difference.
So you're going to have 3 different ranges sometimes on what they look at as normal or abnormal, whatever. So, there was still that little percentage that when you look at allopathic, and that's like your traditional medical doctor, when they order lab work and that lab work comes back, depending on what lab that you use, they may be off by a little bit because of what they consider to be a normal range when they're reporting that data. So I thought that was really, really interesting. and very, very accurate, because, you know, when I was looking over the report, I'm looking over, you know, or thinking about where I feel my imbalances are, body, mind, and spirit, and it was very much reflected in that. So I was really impressed, and that's why I went ahead and I went and bought one, because I was like, hell, I love this stuff. We'll be fighting over this machine.
We are going to. Well, I have one and she has one, so
we won't be fighting
we'll be
over
fighting
the
over all the
machine.
time.
Yeah.
So we both have one, but I learned about this machine from an actual physician, from an MD. That she's from South America, and she uses the machine along with lab work. So she has her patients get their lab work, and she does the scan on the machine. I'm sorry, we should have turned off the air conditioner before we started, because I know that that's like loud going in and out. But she compares the lab work to the readouts, and she's finding about a 90 to 95% accuracy in comparison between the lab work and the machine.
Yeah, and
I mean,
you know, so there's my 2 to 3% right there.
There you go. So, so that's amazing, you know. And if nothing else, this lab work, with lab work, I'm going backwards. The machine report gives you something to go talk to your doctor about. Also, I mean, it opens up conversations about your health with your physician, as well as giving us the opportunity to provide you with natural modalities of healing.
Yes, definitely.
So,
which is, you know, I myself, before I start taking prescriptives, you know, something with a prescription, I like to go as herbal or as natural as possible to eliminate. I don't want the side effects. Yeah. You know, you sit there and you think about how many times do you sit down in the evening time or even in the afternoon and you're going to watch your favorite program or whatever, and every other commercial, if it's not about talcum powder and you know, or this medication or that medication or some new med comes out, but it's got 75 side effects that may kill you.
They have to say the side effects really fast so that you can get them all in before the commercial ends, so that they have enough time to do the commercial so that they can tell you all about the side effects.
Yes. My favorite one is, there was a meme, and I'm not trying to offend anybody when I say this, but they had this meme that was like probably about 6 weeks after COVID had come out, and it was called Fuck It All. It was a new medication. It's just called Fuck It All, you know. And it had no side effects. And I'm like, I need that! You know? And she was just like, and I was like, yeah, we need more medications that don't have side effects. And, you know, and I realize, I know that there are contraindications in some of our herbs. I get that.
Yeah, there's definitely contraindications. There's even some side effects with herbs, but not like prescription medications.
I don't know.
You know?
I was...
So...
You know, and it's funny because it was maybe from 2000, maybe 2002, about 2002 to about 2008, I was the perfect nurse. Meaning that if a physician wrote me a prescription, I filled that prescription and I took it to the T. Exactly the way that was indicated to take that. And by 2008, I had been hospitalized, I had had procedures, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Had so many health issues going on that I just took some of the ethanol. And literally, I did the big no-no, and I just like started throwing stuff away, you know, flushing it down the toilet, throwing it away. I just stopped taking it. You know, and every once in a while, you know, I'd have some kind of illness or whatever, and I'd end up in the hospital. It was never like, oh, I got the sniffles today. It was either I had a big gun, you know, a big gun illness, and I'd end up in the hospital. And, you know, and I'm like in a lot of pain. Oh, your blood pressure's up. You need blood pressure medication. You know, and I was like, if I'm not in pain, my blood pressure's not up.
Right.
How come y'all don't get this? You know, you want to put a tag on me at being over 50 and saying that I need cholesterol medication, I need this, I need that, I need this, and that. you know, I need blood pressure, I need this, I need that, you know, and I'm like, really, all I need is PRNs for when I get sick. Because if I don't have pain, my blood pressure is 120 over 70 something.
Right.
And I'm like, that's like a schoolgirl. I'd like that. You know, why are we forgetting about lifestyle changes or healthy eating habits or
Exactly.
or what is an herbal remedy? Hawthorn, and I will just say this, when I last bout that I had back in May, Alyeen put me on a blood pressure mix thing, and then Hawthorn really makes you empty out your bowels. Just saying.
Which is probably good, because you know that, I mean, you should know this as a nurse, that if a patient came in with an impacted bowel, then their blood pressure's probably going to be up, isn't it?
Oh yeah, well,
For
that's
sure.
because they're hurting like hell.
Right.
And then until they become septic, and then the blood pressure drop. But you know, that's a whole other story.
So I mean, you're cleaning out your bowels, you're getting rid of toxins in your body also.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. You know, you're cleaning everything out. So
yeah, and, you know, and I was like, so if you can look at things from that electromagnetic frequency perspective, we really start to realize that detoxing and keeping our body clear, intermittent fasting is, and I'm telling you, the best thing in the world I ever did for GERD and my acid reflux was intermittent fasting.
yeah.
When I was still eating 3 meals a day, I did a regimen that took 6 months with peppermint oil. And that worked for several years. And then probably in the last couple of years, I maybe picked up some extra, 20 pounds. You know, I gained some extra weight. And started having GERD all the time. It would be like I could look at a banana and get GERD. You know, oh, that celery stick looks good. Oh my God, I got heartburn. And I started doing, I was listening to Joe Rogan. Love Joe Rogan. And he and Rob Lowe were talking about intermittent fasting. And so I can't do like Rob Lowe where he only eats once in a 24-hour period. I'm like, oh no, this girl will shank you for some food.
Right.
You know, but I can do the every 14 hours. And so I started doing the every 14 hours, and I was like, I haven't had GERD, you know, or heartburn or whatever in probably about 2 or 3 weeks now, and I'm like excited.
Speaking of all this health stuff.
Oh yes.
So I have an idea. I haven't even put this past her yet. I haven't even formulated it all. We need to go walk around the parking lot at least once a day. I knew that would be her reaction.
I love it. Okay. See, she thought I was going to be balking at this, and I'm like, no, I'm just going to make a face. Like, what the? She wants me to sweat. You know, I like that.
The perimeter of the parking lot.
Actually, I used to go walk to Shields and back.
Did you?
Until sometimes there's construction workery kind of guys that go into this place, and they started like honking and, hey baby, you're hot, and I'm like, yes I am, it's 100 degrees out here, you know. And so yeah, but the parking lot would be kosher. Because I don't think anybody would be stupid enough to go, hey, baby! You know, I don't know.
And I'm talking the perimeter. So we go out and around the outside perimeter and around the inside perimeter and back into the building.
That's what our narc across the hall does.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. We could follow her. She'll be like, I think they're stalking me.
Actually, I thought about putting up a little flyer and making a little flyer and passing it out to all the offices. You know how we talked about being peaceful?
We are peaceful.
And, you know, you catch more flies with honey type thing. Hey, we want you to be healthy.
Okay, I did tell her this morning outside of her door that she needed to park more appropriately because the elders and the disabled have difficulties getting around her car that's parked up on the sidewalk. This is the lady that called the health department on us us for not wearing a mask. Okay,
While we were moving and there was nobody in the building.
Yeah. So she calls the health department, and the health department comes out, and they do their job. Rock on, peace, love, and harmony, guys, on that. But she can never say anything to our face, and so she always avoids me. So I stood outside her office and told her it would be appropriate if she parked her car. It would be a great idea if she could park her car appropriately. So we'll just see if it happens.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I'm going to call her supervisors and ask them to ask her to park appropriately.
That's good.
I know I can't, and here y'all going, you said that on Facebook Live? Oh my goddess. And I'm like, watch me.
And watch her.
No, I mean,
For real.
and it's, and truth be known, the front end, the front part, back when we had a big parking lot before DOT remodeled all the roads, I encouraged our clients to park up front because we parked in the back.
Right.
All right, so they take away more than half of the parking lot.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So they take away more than half of the parking lot, and so people have to really kind of park in the back. It's kind of, I don't like parking on the side of the building. But now all of the staff in the offices all want to park by the door, myself included. I busted myself doing that. And so now our elderly clients have to walk across the parking lot to come in to be seen. So we've got the Department of Vocational Rehab, which tells me that they're seeing disabled clients.
Right.
Wouldn't it be great if they could get in safely, quickly, and easily into the building? So I'm actually going to propose that the parking spaces that are on the front, by the sidewalk, going all the way across, should be reserved for our clients, and that employees and staff of the building need to park up against the fence. If I'm being a witch
I don't think
with
so.
a B,
I also
let me know.
So
I
in my
prefer that you private message me to call me a bitch, but
in my opinion, I think that the parking lots right next to the sidewalk over here should be marked handicap. That's what I think.
that would be a great idea.
I think they need to be marked as handicap spots.
And then somebody, I kind of said something along that lines, and somebody said, she'll go and get a sticker. And there's Alyeen going, that's illegal, and if you're not disabled. And there's different reasons that people get disability stickers. And I think the one that's always kind of made me laugh was the girl that has the disability thing in her thing that she's got to park right up to the building, but she gets out of her car wearing stiletto heels. I'm like, how the hell can you do that disabled? I'm not disabled and I can't wear stiletto heels. So I'm like,
So my husband and I both have been getting phone calls lately, and I guess it's because we're over 50. Going back to labeling the over 50 thing, and it's these public firms. I don't know what they do. Consultants, I guess you call them, calling to help us apply for disability.
I'm like,
they've called me like 4 or 5 times. One time they called and I played along the whole time, and I finally said, hold on a minute before you go on. I said, can you tell me what my disability is? I'm curious.
Yeah, and they're gonna go, Miss Mares, you're bipolar. Oh, I get a check for that.
Crazy.
I get a check for that.
Right? I don't know. I was just laughing. So then I realized my husband was getting them too, and he actually was really nice about it and said, I just told the last person that called me about 2 hours ago that I don't have a disability, so you need to stop calling. And I'm like, you're too nice. You could have
See,
done with
because
that.
I would have to give somebody grief
I know.
to not green. You know, I do a Roy D. Mercer. Remember him? Somebody's gonna whoop your ass. Roy D. Mercer, he would be the one who he'd call somebody up on the phone. He'd do prank phone calls. He'd say, "This is Roy D. Mercer." And he would go through this spiel, and you'd be like, "No, sir. No, sir. Don't make me come over there and whoop your ass." You know? And it would be like on KJ 103 back in the, like, whatever our station was back in the 1980s. And so I went to school at Deer Creek up in Edmond, and, you know, I didn't want to ride a bus, so I drove a car. So I drove, and I'd be playing that Roy D. Mercer every morning. He's going to whoop somebody's ass. So that's what I would have. I
have got stories about crank phone calls, man. Some good ones.
Girl.
Because we used to do it all the time.
Prank phone calls were my thing when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. And let me just tell you, girl, I had a name.
Did you really?
Yes. And I will not, and I'm going to tell you this. I used to have crushes on police officers. I think it was the uniform, you know?
Yeah.
Because some of them weren't too cute. In hindsight, I'm like, ooh, God, you know? Like, ooh.
Once they take the Teflon off, they're not cute.
Oh, yeah. You're like, oh.
They got it all sucked in with those bulletproof vests and stuff, so, you know.
Well, you know, it's like the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. When he's wearing the chic outfit, he is like one hot muffin. Like, I don't care if he's 30 years younger than me, right? He takes off that thing, and you see the receding hairline that goes back here, and you're like, put the sheet back on. Put it on now, you know. So that's the same thing with cops. You know, they look really good in a uniform back then in those days, and then they take off the uniform, and you're like, ugh. Ew, he wears nylon pants. I thought he would wear jeans, you know. So I would get their phone numbers, and, you know, the younger ones, if they were married, you know, that was totally off limits. This is like, I'm like 17, 18, and we didn't have caller ID, and I would do my prank phone call, and I'd call and go, "Hey, is Joe there?" And, you know, his roommate would go, "No, Joe's not," because I knew Joe was at work, you know. And so I'd go, "Well, who's this?" And he would say his name, and I would talk to him and go, "What's your name, baby?" And I'd go, "Marsha." So we'd go on a little bit longer and talking and stuff. He'd go, "Marsha what?" And I go, "Mellow." So, oh my God. My street name is Marshmallow.
Was that your street name or your phone name?
My street phone name. I wasn't no sad girl or mousy or whatever. When I was in the gang, I was Marshmallow. Now, mind you, that was the fluffy girl gang, but, you know, hey, you know, I'm the fluffy girls. What's your street name? Marshmallow. But I said, "Hi, I'm Marsha." And I would talk to him on the phone for quite a while. Thank God we did not have caller ID.
Well, do you remember when the caller ID was a little box that you plugged into your phone?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We learned how to deprogram those so that you could make calls and your phone number wouldn't show up. There was ways to do it. There was there was like, you know how you could do like star 69? Do you remember being able to do star 69? There was a code that you could do that in the 80s.
Was it star 67?
I don't remember. But
I thought star 69 was the callback.
Yeah, I think star 69 was the callback. But there was a code you could do like that would keep your phone from showing up on the caller ID.
Oh my God, I love that.
So that's how we did it.
God, that would have been great.
I know, right?
Because then I could have been doing crank phone calls up into my 30s. I love those things.
I thought I was all grown up because I started having kids, and so I quit doing them.
Yes.
I should have kept doing them. I would have been a lot happier person.
My first, all right, how old were you at your first crank phone call?
Oh gosh, I don't even remember. Probably 11 or 12-ish.
I got y'all beat. My mom was so ding dang good at making me watch Sesame Street, I knew my numbers. I knew them damn well. Love you count, right? So my dad left his phone book, his work phone book. I was 4 years old. 4. And I get the work phone book and I find phone numbers and I start calling and I start talking. My daddy left. I'm here all by myself. My parents left me alone.
Oh
They abandoned me. And I would tell all these crazy stories.
That's great.
And I'm like, what a dumbass. Because they would say, honey, what's your name? And I would tell them my name. Honey, what's the number you're calling from? And I'd tell them and they'd go, honey, hang up. And I'd hang up. And they'd call back and talk to my mom. And there was all these major corporations. I look at it now, and I mean, I was just like, didn't know why I was getting my ass beat, but, you know, got spanked for it. And I look back at it now, and I'm like, oh my God, my parents were horrified. And I was like, what would I do if one of my kids started doing that? I'm abandoned, I'm neglected.
So one of my kids called 911.
Oh no.
I won't mention any names, but it's my oldest son, and he was about 2 or 3.
Oh no.
I had left the phone, because you know the day of the cordless phones, right? I had left the phone sitting on the desk in our bedroom. I didn't think he was tall enough to reach it, but evidently he had grown and I hadn't realized it. And told his older sisters I was going to go get in the shower to keep an eye on him, right?
Oh no.
So he got the phone and he called 911. So just as I'm like getting out of the shower, barely, I think I might have been slightly soapy still, there was a boom, 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 boom on the front door.
Oh.
So I come out wrapped in a towel, and this police officer's going, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, I was just taking a shower. Like, I don't know.
And if it was me, I would have said, and. Keep going.
And so he's like, who all's in the house? And I said, me and my 5 kids. And he's like, where are they? And I said, I don't know. I was in the shower. What am I supposed to do? So I called all the kids into the front room, and he goes, is this all of them? And I'm like, yes, sir, this is all of them. And he's like questioning each one of them. Is everything okay? Is, you know.
What did Sugar Bear tell them?
Probably nothing.
Oh.
Honestly, he just called 911.
I'm abandoned. I'm neglected.
I mean, he was only like 2-ish, 3-ish.
I'm the youngest of 5, and they give me the chicken wing.
That would be more like it.
I'm calling 911.
So that was my experience as a parent. Now I can tell you all kinds of stories as a child. Calling.
Oh, I have to admit, that was my thing. That's my bag, baby. Making crank phone calls. God, I love doing that.
So the brother that's just under me, he's 4 years younger than me. He was really good at it, and he started very, very young. Well, he made a phone call one day, just a random number, and
oh Lord,
a lady answered the phone, and he's like, Mom, the movie's over. Can you come get me? And she's like, honey, I'm not your mother. Where are you? And he's like, no, that was my last quarter. So it's still the payphone days, right? And she's like, do you want me to call your mom for you and let her know? And he's like, would you please? That would be amazing. So he hangs up the phone. I had no idea he had done this. None. And I'm babysitting, right? At the time, I probably would have been 11, 12, 13-ish. He's like, Alyeen, come here, quick. I'm like, what's the matter? He goes, when the phone rings, answer it and pretend you're mama. And I'm like, what did you do? The phone rings, I answer it, and the lady's going, Mrs. George, your son just called me by accident.
you need to pick him up at the movies.
Pick him up at the movie theater.
It's over.
So, and I'm a laugher. I mean, you know me. I'm a laugher. I laugh at everything. I don't. You could be dead serious, and I'll start laughing. So I'm sitting here trying not to laugh, and he's sitting there going, "Shut up! Shut up!" So we hang up the phone, and then we're all rolling on the floor laughing because we're so funny.
I'd be like
It was
sucking
sad.
in my cheeks so I don't start laughing. No, that would have been a hoot. Mrs. George, you need to make your son up. He's over at the place.
Lace.
Place. Yeah, community theater. That would have been hilarious. I would love that.
I miss those
I was
days.
like, man, I do. I miss those days. I don't miss all of those days, but I miss a lot of those
I do too.
days.
I miss it.
You know, I went to a really small high school. I'd actually had always gone to like really, really big schools. And then when we moved to Oklahoma, we were living out in the Deer Creek, Edmond area, and so we went to Now, back then, we had 60 in our graduating class.
Oh, wow.
60. I was 5th in my class, just letting you know. You know, and I was like, I mean, when you look out of 60, that ain't that bad. You know, or that ain't that good, I guess. I don't know. It was like pickings were lean. I don't know. But,
What kind of school did you go to?
Deer Creek. I graduated from Deer Creek. Graduated in 1983. I think I was the oldest person graduating. Yeah, and I remember going to OU, and my grandmother bought me like tons of liquor. So if you opened up my closet at OU, it was like a liquor cabinet, and the bottles were empty by November when my mom came into me. Yeah, I drank myself up out of my freshman year. And I don't drink anymore. But yeah, I went to school in Deer Creek, and like I said, we had 60 in our graduating class. So that meant I might have had like 20 in a class, you know, or whatever.
Nice.
You know, it was really small classes. Really, really good school. I really enjoyed my experience there. But it was a rude awakening going to college and being in classes of 500.
Yeah, I bet.
Because, you know, for 5 years you're told, you know, you're in a small class and your teacher knows your name and they pretty much know your business as well. And then you go out, you know, to this huge college. And now I failed my freshman semester.
I did too. I flipped out of college. My first semester, I didn't do very well.
So my mom made me come back home, and then it was several years later, I went back to college.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was not. And I was like, you know, and now, you know, you think about it, how often do parents say, okay, you go from high school and you go to college. I'm like a firm believer, take a year off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a year off. Get to figure out what you really want to do and who you want to be as an adult, and, you know, adulting in through there, and take a year off. And don't make ring phone calls during that year. We can't really make them anymore.
You can't make them anymore anyway, but yeah. And I think I am a firm believer that while kids are in high school and they can, because the vocational schools around here are free, get a trade.
Oh yeah.
Get a trade, and it might not be something you think you want to do for the rest of your life, but it's something that will make you more than minimum wage.
Yeah, definitely. And you also look at it too. It's a great way. Often it's a great way to get into a company. It's a great way to pay.
Get college paid for.
To get college paid for. You know, a lot of times you can go in like a paramedic and go work in an emergency room, and then you decide you want to be a PA or a nurse practitioner, physician, or whatever. They'll pay for you to go to school.
Exactly.
You know, so there's a lot of different things, but I'm a firm believer in that. If you haven't figured out what you want to be when you're 17, 16, 17 years old, go to trade school.
Yeah.
Learn that skill, so that you're not you're not a barista at Starbucks. Not that I'm knocking Starbucks or being a barista. I'm not. But
I'm flipping hamburgers at McDonald's.
No.
Or
We pay $10 an hour, but you know what's the cost of living? You know, working. I think having that job skill is really important.
yeah, yeah, and it's always something you can fall back on too. I mean, with the position that we're in right now, you know, there's you're this. This is your title. This is what you went to college for, and that's what you do.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so having to say, okay, well, we need to make ends meet right now while we're waiting for the economy to pick back up. It's hard when you don't have a skill first and foremost.
You know, and I say this with great love. There's only so many people that need an Uber. Because I know people are out there and they're like, oh, I'll go do food delivery for Uber. I'll go drive Uber. I'll do this. I'll do that. The money is not that great in the food delivery. And I'm like, I wouldn't even, to be honest, I wouldn't even bother.
No, the only thing Uber and Lyft are good for, in my experience, is that quick cash. You need a little bit of cash right now. You can make $50 to $100 in a day if you need some quick cash right now.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, you can't make a living at it.
I knew a guy that he would drive on Friday night and Saturday night and maybe Sunday afternoon, but usually Friday night and Saturday night. And he made enough every month doing the Friday night, Saturday night that it made his house payment. So I'm like, hey, that's cool. Mm-hmm. You know, that was his goal, and he actually like doubled up his house payments, blah 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 blah, and was like paid for his house early. So I get it, I get that, but as in, you know,
it's a supplemental income.
It's a supplemental income only,
It's not a
you know, and not a full. It's not a gig, you know.
No.
Could it be a gig? I guess it could be a gig, but you'd have to be really ding dang good, and there must be some quality about you that everybody wants to ride in your car.
Yeah. But you can't pick your driver either. So I guess my new thing is karaoke. I didn't know this, but I sing. So when I'm driving for Uber and Lyft, which I haven't done much Lyft lately, I have the radio on. 104.1 is like my favorite, guys. The best radio station ever.
Isn't that Magic 104 or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I sing along to all the songs because I've been doing so much driving that I know the music now because I listen to the radio all the time. And so all of my reviews are all like, great voice, awesome woman.
She sings! Entertaining!
You know, it's kind of fun. I've had several people go, do you do karaoke? You really should.
She'd be winning some prizes at Henry Hudson's. But no, I was like, I don't even listen. I listen to talk radio. So I'm like, I don't even listen to music anymore in my car. I don't know. I'm just funny about my music. It's like usually I have to be in a specific mood to hear a specific something, and then if it's not playing, then I'm like, just put talk radio on. I can listen to that.
There you go.
You know,
Yeah.
I love this.
She does.
I've been playing it all day. I need to like put it away so I can stop playing with it. I'm like the kid with ADD when it comes to.
Well, you're making me, my singing bowl's sitting right over there, and I keep thinking I'm going to go over there and grab it real quick and play up some music on it.
I've actually been thinking about getting one. Now, what note is yours?
I believe it's a C. It's the root chakra.
Okay, so maybe I should get the one that's, what is it, for the heart chakra.
Mm-hmm.
C, D, E, F. F, I think is what it is.
I think you're right.
And I think I'll get an F so we can, you'll be the root and I'll be the heart. Bing, 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 bing. That's about my level of playing. Yeah, that's why Matthew does such a good job. Matthew's really good on the little singing bowls.
Really?
And then Amber, like he'll bring his singing bowls out on when we do Reiki at the lake. So he brings them out and he has them. And then he's usually like focusing, and then Amber picks up the other little mallet and Amber will start playing too. And then there's Gabby doing the voice accompaniment. She sings so much better than I do, but I just have something about, I love to sing or put tone to the Reiki Homan, or the mantra, or whatever you want to call it, for each level. And so it's like really beautiful. And we were just talking about this because, I don't do cold. And so it's going to be getting cold outside. We've been thinking about that front foyer
Oh, that would
here in
be
the
awesome.
building. It's got tile floor. And I remember, oh gosh, what is his name? Eugene Fritz. He's the guy that does the Quest Formation cards. And he also does these sound healings. And he'll go to various places throughout the city and he'll set them up and just got tons of stuff, from bells and bowls to chimes and gongs and whatever. It's really beautiful what he has. And he does this sound healing. And pretty much people were laying on the floor. I will not do that again. Fat girls like me with a big butt cannot lay flat on the floor, we'll just say. So I was like, it'll be a cushy chair for me next time. But, people were laying on the floor on their little yoga mat things and feeling the vibration off the floor. But he says it has a totally different sound and vibration to it when you have tile floor versus the carpeted floor.
Yeah.
So I'm really, so I'm like,
reverberate?
yes, I can't wait.
That'll be
I'm like,
awesome.
please be cold, because I want to hear this in there, But, hey, have you noticed that they textured the ceiling in here?
Yeah.
That's wow, that's interesting. Who textures the ceiling? Seriously? Spray that little popcorn stuff up there.
Popcorn stuff is so late. It's so yesterday.
It is?
Yeah. Big time. If you watch those house remodeling shows, they're all going, oh, popcorn ceilings. We need to get rid of those.
Y'all are dogs! I like popcorn ceilings. Not anymore. She won't let me like them now.
They're so
Anyway.
yesterday.
Oh, anyway, but, so we've got this new scanner, and we both have scanners. Please, come in and see us. I'm going to, we're gonna kind of crunch some stuff, numbers or whatever, and
Yeah, we need
figure
to
out
run some numbers and figure things out.
and kind of get back with you and let you know what we're offering them. I know that last Saturday at our,
Open house.
I was like, what was it? It wasn't a retreat. You did several of them.
I did several.
Did you get good feedback?
Yeah, I think so.
Very cool.
I know that I have an appointment to do one tomorrow.
Very cool.
There was a lady who came in and had done a foot detox, and you had me tell her about them. Tell her about the scan, and so she's coming in tomorrow.
Who is that?
Her name now. It's in my note. It's in my calendar.
Okay.
So I have somebody coming in tomorrow for a scan, and then I had a couple people said they want to come back for the full scan. So we'll see what
Very
happens.
cool.
Hopefully they will. So it's a good thing
Yep.
all the way around.
Yep, very good thing. Very excited about using it and implementing it into our plan of care and our treatments and our services that we do here through the Natural Healing and Wellness Collaborative.
Yep.
So
It's a pretty amazing thing going on. My daughter is texting me. I wonder what she wants this time of day. So just for kicks and grins, I'm doing a $35 special for tomorrow and Friday on consofacials.
35
2
bucks
days
on a facial.
only.
Oh my gosh. Get your facial in. They are phenomenal. Phenomenal.
So that's happening for me this week.
And I was going to say, I really love the skin serum.
I'm getting lots of good feedback on that.
I really, 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 really like the skin serum. And one of the things that I've learned about the skin serum is a little bit goes a long way.
You don't need very much. It works
And
great.
so it's so when you think about it like that, it's very cost effective on top of that. But I love the skin serum. So
Good stuff.
Consofacial with Alyeen, and your number is
580-656-2535. What have you got coming up?
I have a detox class on Friday. I think there might be one seat left. You have to get that in today so that I have plenty of booklets for it, because you get a little booklet with your certification class. And then on Sunday, I have a couple seats left for the Reiki First Degree CPR for the Soul. It's a $55 class. It's your intro into Reiki. You get your first attunement. It's perfect for self-care and family care. Self-care and family care, and it's a great way for you to be accountable and have control over your healing.
Love it. Love it.
So if you'd like to enroll for that class, shoot me a text, 405-549-3766. The class is on Sunday from 1 to about 4:35, about 1:30, about 1 to 5-ish, depending on how many people are there. We'll be over here in the new building. It's 8001 South I-35 Service Road. We're in Suite 104B, right next door to the doula chick. Heavenly Faith
Birth and Doula Services.
Birth and Doula Services. And then right across the hall from the Department of Vocational Rehab.
So, and then I have a Kintsugi class coming up.
Oh, that'll be
I think
fun.
that's September 20, I can't see the calendar from here, so 28th. It's a Thursday, the last Thursday of the month, in the evening at 6 o'clock.
Yep.
So you'll want to...
I think I'm registered for that.
Are you?
I think so. I think I am.
You better be. So that'll be a lot of fun because we're going to break bowls and glue them back together and make them look pretty. So,
Just as when our life falls apart and we get that strength and encouragement and love and support to put it back together again, and we actually form something much more beautiful
that's right.
than what it was originally.
We make the scars look beautiful. That's the whole message in the Kintsugi.
Love it. So, anything else, my beautiful friend?
I don't think so.
Okay, everybody. Shoot, peace, love, and harmony. Hope you have a most beautiful week and a beautiful day. We'll catch up with you next week. And it was funny because I was reading that like doing this has a different message, so that's why we switched to this. So peace, love, and harmony. You know how hard that is for me to remember that? So, yeah. I think I just need another
We
laugh.
could
I'll be all right.
do peace, love, and happiness.
How do I do that?
Peace,
Peace,
love,
love,
and happiness.
happiness. Oh, that looks like I just flipped you off.
Do a P. Do a P like a P.
So
Peace,
peace. With my middle finger.
peace, love, and then make little
Happiness.
press your shoulders.
Happiness. I like that. Hope you all have a beautiful week.
See you soon.
Oh, hi everybody.